What's up, guys? It's Rob here with Down to Dirt TV, and today we're going to answer a question that genuinely every single contractor has when they first open the doors to their business. And that question is, how much do I charge? Welcome to Down to Dirt TV, where we give you the information you need to keep your business moving forward. This question comes from one of our subscribers, Dan, who writes, trying to determine how long it takes to do a particular job is difficult. Trying to determine what to charge as an hourly rate can be challenging. However, I think I'm slowly getting better. Maybe. Some clients would rather me give them an overall bid for the job. It's difficult to determine what a reasonable markup is for materials. So upon editing, what I found out is that this is probably going to be a pretty extensive question. I didn't want to give you a 45 minute video, so we're just going to figure out what your hourly rate should be and maybe a little bit on how to figure out what to charge for machines. So let's go over it. Well, Dan, you're not alone. Every single contractor, when they first open the doors, has the exact same question. Like I said, it's a very complex thing to try to figure out when you're first starting out, because there's a lot of variables that you don't know about, right? So first thing you need to know are your numbers. You need to know what things cost you. Now there's two sides of this equation. You have the business side and you have the personal side. On the business side, you're gonna look at your insurance, your mortgage, your utilities, the advertising budget you're gonna have. You're gonna wanna know truck payments, your vehicle payments, your maintenance, you need to know all that stuff. It's all needs to be addressed. And then on the personal side, you're gonna have to know your mortgage, your food, your electric bills, your insurance, your retirement. Retirement is important, by the way. That is one thing that a lot of people don't consider in their calculation and ends up biting them in the ass when they go to retire. So let's assume your numbers came out to be about $125,000 a year, right? And that's your personal and your business expenses all wrapped up in one. We'll call that your survival number. Your survival number is where typically most new contractors will stop. I did my first 2 years, I had a survival number and I was happy if I hit that number, and I didn't care whether or not I made anything above and beyond that, because all I wanted to do was operate in the now. So if you take that 125,000 and you divide it over the working hours in a year, which is 2,080 hours, you come up with roughly $61 per hour. Now, a lot of guys would say, cool, that's awesome. See, the problem with doing the math like this is that you're actually assuming that you're gonna work the full 2,080 hours a year, when you know that you're going to be the person that's gonna go out into the field and you're gonna do the estimates, you're gonna do the site visits, you're gonna spray for locates, you're gonna do all these things that are non-billable hours towards your customers. You're doing this stuff for free, essentially upfront. You're loading this stuff up front so that you can get the project, and you don't bill for this. And sometimes you don't even get the project, right? So thinking that you're actually going to be working the full 2,080 hours is actually kind of a foolish assumption. Is kind of a foolish assumption, excuse me, and it never works out to being that way. The only way that you're actually gonna work the full 2,080 is if you don't like your family, you don't have friends, you don't ever wanna go do anything, and you wanna work 16 to 18 hours a day, to which I say, that. You'll never catch me working 16 to 18 hours a day ever again. I did when I first opened my business back in 2015, because I was sitting there like, I gotta go, I gotta make sure that I'm getting this stuff. But here's the problem. You can't get that time back. You can't. See, not me. I love my family way too much to put them through that. I did when I first started, and I will never go back to that. When you start factoring truths into your calculations, you end up billing for more like 1,000 hours or 1,200 hours. Yikes, I mean, that's not a whole lot of time, right? So in order to compensate for that, you're gonna have to multiply that survival number by 2 to get your full 2080 hours. And that should give you a minimum hourly rate of $122 an hour. That's if you're using the example. See, as humans, we typically do what it takes to survive and not to thrive. I did this for the first 2 years, and it got to the point where I finally realized, hey, I'm just never gonna retire at this kind of a rate. So wait, let's talk about one thing that virtually almost everybody forgets when they first open their business. The taxes, man. The taxes are what's going to screw you up every single time. And I'll tell you how it screws you up. When the tax man comes in at the end of the year, they say, hey, you owe 32% taxes, and you're only working with that number that you know you're going to survive with, the 125,000. If you don't calculate that tax burden in, you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to lose anywhere between 10 and 37% of your money. You're screwed. You're going to lose a big chunk of your money when the tax man says, hey, give me all that money. Give me that money that I didn't work for and I didn't earn and I didn't give you anything for your business. You don't get anything for it. You just pay it up and then they dole it out to all their friends and all that other kind of stuff. But that's another topic that we can get into some other time. But for right now, let's stick to what we're trying to accomplish here. So if you want to guard yourself against that, put 40% on top of those numbers. And the reason is because that's like the top tier bracket is 38% or 37%. That'll give you that safeguard. So when they say, hey, you owe 37%, you have the money to pay them and it's not coming out of your own pocket. All right, well, anyway, back to them. You see these guys all the time charging $75 an hour. They got these ads up on Facebook and they have these ads up on Craigslist where they say, operator and machine for $75 an hour. And I mean, they're not thinking this all the way through. And I don't mean to call anybody stupid, but when you're trying to make a living and you're eventually going to have to retire and you're charging $75 an hour, the tax man's taking 40% of it, and you got all of these things like breakdowns. Breakdowns are evil. I mean, they happen. That is a significant amount of money that you have to pay when something breaks down. And it's usually on a whim. It can be anywhere between, it could be a simple fix for $25, or it could be a $4,000 fix, or God forbid, a $30,000 engine replacement. So these are things that you have to consider also when you're thinking about these hourly rates. So how do you know what to charge for your machines? Always wanted to do that. Well, the easy way to do it is to pick phone and call one of these rental companies and ask them, hey, what are you charging for the same type of machine? And they're going to tell you, oh, I charge $250 an hour. And then you're going to go, okay, thanks, click. And then you start using that number as your proposal number when you set it out to customers. They already cover all of the maintenance and the replacement cost of it and the brick and mortar cost and all that kind of stuff. That's all wrapped into that rental number, right? So that takes all the guessing away from you and it gives you the same type of profit they would have made. Make sure you always stick by your numbers too, because they're there for a reason. If you use that as like your base, everything will be fine. And so one of the biggest things is making sure that your machines and equipment don't fall apart. And that is another reason why you need to charge this daily rate for your equipment, because if you don't, they're going to fall apart. And then at some point, you're going to either have to replace them or fix them. I always say replace them. Once they start breaking down and falling apart, just replace the mother trucker, because if you don't, I mean, it's kind of one of those domino effect things. One thing goes out, then the next thing goes out, then the next thing goes out, and you end up doling out a bunch of money that you could have used to buy yourself a new piece of equipment that had no issues with it. So let's be realistic here. If you look at another professional, an architect, lawyer, an accountant, these types of people, they all charge anywhere between $150 and $250 an hour. You're actually a professional also, and you need to be charging as a professional. $125 an hour, that's not an unreasonable price to be charging your customers, because you need to survive. You are a business. You are not just a person. If you don't charge people the right amount, you're gonna set yourself up for failure. Statistically, most contractors don't stay in business for more than 5 years. I think it's something like 8 out of 10 businesses end up going out of business within the first 5 years or something like that. And you just don't want to be one of those. This is typically due to poor management of finances. And, like I said, the guy that's charging $75 an hour, they're not going to be the ones in business after 5 years. So first, know your numbers. Second, know your numbers. And third, know your numbers. Stop giving projects away. Stop worrying about being the lowest man on the totem pole. So that's what I got for you guys today. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know how I'm doing for you guys. Also, make sure you hit that notification button. I forgot to mention that on the last one. That way, every single time I release a new video, you guys know when it's coming out. Also, let me know what you guys want to hear about. If you guys want me to dissect a specific topic, put that in the comment section. I read almost all of them. Actually, no, I read all of them because I've only had like 2. But, as we get bigger, I want to be able to give you different type of content. We're going to be learning about machines and maintenance and how to operate and all that fun stuff. And it's going to be a blast. And I want you guys to know each video has been a little bit different. I'm kind of messing with some different type of methods, so to speak. Like today, I wrote some stuff out here. And that, I'm reading it off of a laptop, whereas last week I did teleprompter. That teleprompter sucked because I didn't set it up right. And so it seemed very unnatural. And what I want to try to do is get comfortable with this so that you guys actually like coming here. It's a big deal, giving you guys information is my A1 goal. I'm here to help you guys any way that you need. Give me some feedback. I like feedback. If I don't know how to help you guys, I can't grow the channel to give you guys things that you want. And it's all about the content, you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, I really want to thank you for tuning in here. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you on the next one. Take care. So that's all I got for you guys today. Please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification button to get... Also, let me know what you guys want to hear about. If you want me to dissect specific... So how much do you charge for your machines?